everyone. This is News Reporter Jack coming to you live from the Harlem in New York. I just want to tell you that today the kids are still learning about HBCUs, and today they're learning about Howard University. I imagine it's in Howard City. What's wrong? I've got it wrong? Well, I see. Excuse me, that's Washington, D.C. All right, but just to let you know, they're learning all about HBCUs, and HBCUs are part of some very important African American institutions that all children should know about. And that's what they're learning today. And they're learning about Howard University. I thought it was in Howard City. Let's see what they're going to learn today. Okay, everybody, and thank you for coming to class today. Well, I shouldn't thank you for coming to class because school is a requirement. But today, we're going to learn about Howard University, another HBCU, and we're going to learn about that today. And, oh, wait, Shaniqua, you have something you want to say? You have your hand raised up. So, what is it that you want to say?
Oh, I wanted to say that my grandmother went to Howard University and she graduated, and I wanted to tell you that so that you would know. My big brother goes to Howard University also.
Okay, we have some alums and some proud Howard University people here today. So, you know what it is, and that's good. Now, Howard University is a private, historically black, federally chartered research university in Washington, D.C. It's located in the Shaw neighborhood. It is classified among R2 doctrinal universities, high research activity, and accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. It was established in 1867, and Howard is a non sectarian institute. It offers undergraduate degrees and graduate degrees and professional degrees in more than 120 programs. Shortly after the Civil War, members of the First Congressional Society of Washington considered establishing a theological seminary for the education of black clergymen. Within a few weeks, the project expanded to include uh, a provision that would help out not only just clergymen, but other people. Within 2 years, the university consisted of a college of liberal arts and a medical school. The new institution was named after Oliver Otis Howard, a Civil War hero who was both the founder and both the founder of the university, and at the time the commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau. Howard later served as the president of the university from 1869 to 1874. The Congress chartered Howard University on March 2nd, 1867. Much of its early funding came from endowments, private donations, and them raising money through tuition. Many improvements were made on the campus. Howard Hall was renovated and made into a dormitory for women. Well, there was a place called Howard Hall. It was named after the first president. And this was from 8 to, let me stop, from 1926, I'm sorry everybody, to 1960, there was a preacher by the name of Mordecai Watt Johnson. It was Howard University's first African American president. Oh, wait. I see now that Adela Ray has a question. Let's see. What is your question, Adela Ray?
Okay, here's my question. We keep learning about HBCUs. Now we're learning about Howard University. Hey, why were there HBCUs in the first place?
That's a real good question, Adela Ray. And I'm going to answer the question for you. Like I said, that's a real good question. Well, HBCUs were established because African Americans were not allowed to go to other institutions which were for predominantly white people. And also, many people saw that African Americans needed to get an education, like learning how to read, learning how to write, but they needed an education which was past just an elementary school education. So, HBCUs were established so that African Americans could learn how to be doctors, lawyers, and scientists, and other things that would help them, or pastors uh, that would help them grow a very vibrant and great communities. And also, speaking about that, the Great Depression years of the 1930s brought hardship to the campus of Howard University. Despite appeals from Eleanor Roosevelt, Howard University's budget was cut below what the Hoover administration had given it. And this was during the presidency of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. In the 1930s, Howard University still had segregated student housing. That means that white people stayed in one group of housing, African Americans stayed in another. Howard University played an important role in the civil rights movement on a number of occasions. Alan Locke, the chair of the Department of Philosophy and the first African American Rhodes Scholar, authored or wrote a book called The New Negro. This was done in 1925, which helped the Harlem Renaissance, where we are in Harlem, New York. Ralph Bunche, the first Nobel Peace Prize winner, was of African descent, served as the chair of the Department of Political Science at Howard University. Beginning in 1942, Howard University students pioneered the stool sitting technique um, of occupying stools in cafeterias, which denied service to African Americans. So what happened was a lot of cafeterias or restaurants did not want African Americans inside there. So African Americans decided to protest, and what they would do would be to go inside the restaurant and just sit in the restaurant. And that brought attention to what they were doing. Now, this was a tactic that was played out predominantly in the civil rights movement. By January of 1943, students had begun to organize regular sit ins and pickets around Washington, D.C., at cigar stores and cafeterias which refused to serve people of the African American race. These protests continued until the fall of 1944. Another famous person that went there was Stokely Carmichael. He was known as a student, and he was actually a part of the Department of Philosophy at Howard University. And he also went to the School of Divinity, and he coined the term Black Power, and worked in the in well he worked in Loudoun County in Alabama and served as a voting rights activist. And that's what he did. But he was a very famous civil rights leader. Okay, wait. Somebody else has a question. Ari, what is your question?
Oh, I know something. Like I said, I know something about Howard University. And my big brother goes there, but I was reading. In 1965, President Lyndon Johnson delivered a speech to the graduating class at Howard where he outlined his plans for the civil rights legislation and he endorsed an aggressive affirmative action plan to combat the years of effects of segregation of blacks from the nation's economic opportunities. At the time, the voting rights bill was still pending in the House of Representatives. That's what I know.
All right. Well, that's good to know. But just to let you know, Howard University is one of the top HBCUs in the United States. Students there are still making great contributions to our great country. And one day, well, who knows what's going to happen in the future, but one day, Howard University might be your HBCU that you love. So, okay. I understand that it's time for us to go out and enjoy our recess. I hope that you guys have a great time, okay? So everyone can leave now.
Wow, I didn't know all of that about Howard University. Yeah, it's a research school, offers 120 programs, and is located in Washington, D.C. And Howard University has contributed quite a bit to the civil rights movement. Hey, that's great. I'll play some basketball, but I'm going to think about Howard University and HBCU.